longbeards to my right. They're back behind me, straight north, and then north-northwest of me. Just around the bend on the creek, I see three turkeys up on the roofs. I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna sneak out and try to get them on film. Here's the skinny. So I set up across the creek this morning, and 2 longbeards are on the north end, and what they usually do is they pitch off and land the short grass field here. And they were joined by a 3rd gobbler, so it is what it is. But I spotted those 3 hens on the roost. They landed, came in, read the script, but the toms stayed up on the north side. So I circled back around, crossed the creek about 400 yards to the west, and spotted them. Spotted the one first, and then saw the other 2, and then circled back around again. And as I was coming up this open field to kind of check the neighbor's combined cornfield, I think he's been planting beans here pretty soon. As I was coming halfway up the hill, I heard, so I backed off, circled back around, dropped down the hill, came in, was up the deeks. They may or may not have seen me, but they've drifted off behind me. I haven't heard them now for a while, and so the waiting continues. I'll sit here for a couple hours, and if nothing happens, then I'll get out of here. I will say, a couple nights ago in the evening, those 3 gobblers, I'll play the little reveal video clip right here while I'm talking. They were strutting and gobbling across the creek, and there was 2 hens and 2 jakes, and they were on the south side where I set up this morning, getting ready to like pitch up to the roost. And then yesterday the landowner was out here mowing, so I kind of threw that off. But I think they'll be back in tomorrow morning, so hang tight, we'll see what happens. All right, the old RX-9 does it again, baby. Whew. Woo, that was intense. All right, so here's what happened. Shot the bird. It was a triple. I've been messing with them all morning, and they were behind me on the neighbors. They wrapped around, went over this hump. I circled around them, spotted them from the south end of the field, on the southwest corner of the field. They were on the north edge, right on the neighbors, on the combine field here behind me. So I let them drift off, came in, sat on this point, put the deeks out, and about 25 minutes ago I spotted a hen just where the head pop up, right over the top of the hill, maybe 60 yards away. I get my release back on. I was taking a break and eating a little snack here. Text my wife, and all of a sudden, right over the hill, maybe 70 yards, just over the hill. And bloop, 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 3 heads. Those 3 toms I've been messing with, just they came right over the hump, and they saw that Jake decoy, that Dave Smith, and the rest is history. So I took out both legs of the gobbler and half of his right wing. And he could glide, but he couldn't fly. So I waited for him to like work his way down to the tree line, and then I got out and ran down, and he made it to the creek and then fluttered along the creek, landed on the steep embankment, and I had to jump across, of course, on the outside bend of the creek. Most creeks and rivers on the outside bends are the deepest. So I had to go take a swim, jump in through the thick brush, drop down the embankment, get across, and he couldn't get up the embankment. He ran out of energy and lost too much blood. So I got him, and I'm running out of battery power. So what I'm gonna do is go out here, do the post-hunt wrap-up. Here we go. Let's do it. There's my ambush spot right there. And this is what the gobblers saw from their perspective coming in over the top of the hill. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go over here. There's the arrow right there. There we go. They don't bleed much at the shot. Man, this is exciting. God, I love turkey hunting. Alright, so I drug it out of the woods and just dropped it off at the field here. There we go. Soaking wet, but hey. Good long beard, mature, 1 1/4 inch hooks, and this will do. So head back up here and drop off the bird on my bow and do a post-hunt wrap-up. Little entertainment here. That's my second dumping. Had water full, almost to the brim. When I had to jump in that creek, go after that bird. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So the old Hoyt RX-9 did the trick once again. I just received a couple days ago the new Hoyt Alpha AX3 33 in that new Georgia clay. Awesome looking bow, but I just got it, and season ends here this Sunday, so I didn't have a chance to get it all set up. But the Hoyt and Black Eagle focus combo does it again. What a hunt, man. I've been after these toms all morning, playing cat and mouse with them. There's a little hump here behind the camera, and when they went around the corner and over this hill, I circled around, set up the decoys, and about 40 minutes later I see a hen pop up right with her head just over the top of the hill, and about 2 minutes later here a bird just sound off, and here come 3 jellyheads right over the top. They're about 65 yards away, and once they saw this hen and Jake combo, Dave Smith decoy combo, the rest is history. But he has 1 1/8 and maybe, yeah, about 1 1/8. So it's a 3 or 4 year old bird. Not much left from the fan, because when he came crashing down through the timber down towards the creek, he lost a lot of feathers, broke his right wing, and there's 2 big holes on the side of his legs. I mean, he wasn't going to go anywhere, but I did have to run him down. It's amazing how tough these birds are. He has a long beard, about maybe 10 1/4, something like that, 10 1/2. Nice, good at least 3-year-old, maybe 4-year-old bird. What an accomplishment. I'm so excited. Shooting him with the bow. No pop-up blind, running and gunning style. It's an exciting way to do it. The old Esch Custom Call Signature Series really sucked him in, kept him fired up long enough to linger and then pick up this hen. They weren't with the hen early. I watched them for a while, but man, the calling, the decoying, the setup, all worked out great. So I'm on this high spot and behind the camera and behind the tree line where the farmer is getting ready to combine and plant, not combine, but plant beans, I should say. I watched him on the edge right here from about 350 yards off on the far end of the property. Circled around, I made 2 moves, and on my second move I ended up slipping into this patch of timber behind the camera on a spot that I cleared when my dad was here last week, so that was exciting. Means a lot, you know. My dad was here and he helped me clear out that little spot right there. But it's on this point, on this knob. Anything in this field can see the decoys, and through that little narrow inlet that connects this field to the next field can see the decoys as well. But they were just over the knob. They came in hook, line, and sinker, and the rest is history. Nice big long beard. Big hooks. Nice big limb hanger right there. And did a lot of breeding here. Did a lot of breeding. Nice rope. About 20, 22, something like that. Not much left of the fan, but that'll work though. You know, it's always rewarding to get them with stick and string. So, tagged out here in Kentucky. Can't complain.